the situation in scientific publishing in general is becoming unsustainable because what we have right now are very few publishers that keep almost monopoly on certain publishing disciplines. In biology, we have these big publishers. They hold everything and they make huge profits because they just have a few staff editors that are paid and then all the work is done for free by the scientists. Scientists produce content for free. They even pay to get their papers published. Scientists review papers for free. Scientists serve as academic editors that are almost always not compensated. So this is a very exploitative system. And maybe it was still sustaining itself for some time, but right now there is this explosion of knowledge, lots of papers being written, which is great, but then somebody needs to review them, and there is this tremendous fatigue among scientists, especially maybe more senior ones, that they receive so many papers for review, they just can't handle it, they decline, and then there is no one to review other people's papers because they're not compensated, they're not motivated to do this. So this is a very difficult situation that I'll be very curious how scientific publishing will change over time, because I don't believe it can stay the way the status quo cannot be maintained much longer. So the situation we got into with Aging Cell was part of this bigger problem. Aging Cell was established more than 10 years ago. There was a great need to have a sort of mid-level, very solid journal on aging biology, because, okay, if you have some great discovery, you send it to Nature or Science, but there is still, a lot of work being done, and you want to have a solid journal for it that addresses mechanistic questions and that is handled by your peers, by scientists whom you respect. So that was the function that Aging Cell was playing, but it started failing at that because we couldn't handle the volume of article submissions. Our editorial board couldn't handle it because there were too many and no one was compensated at the system, so it was just not working, and the publisher was not willing to address these concerns. So that's when we decided, that's when there was this dispute, there was mass resignation of editors-in-chief, majority of the editorial board has resigned as well, and we decided to start a new journal. Actually, we didn't decide to do it right away. At first we just said, look, we can't continue, that's it. We don't want to play this game anymore. But then people started writing back to us and saying, we need a journal. Like, are you starting a new one? We need it. So we thought, well, now we owe it to the field because we pretty much brought this, the demise of the journal. I mean, we didn't bring it, but we sort of put an end to this because it was already becoming completely unsustainable. But then we felt, okay, now we need, we owe the field something. We have to organize a new model of a journal. And that's how Aging Biology started. We decided, let's start a journal that will be run entirely by scientists and it will be for science. So we will not have a big publisher or small publisher. We will be a publisher. We will publish things. Our goal will be to compensate our editorial board, that people will be motivated to work for us and not feel exploited. Whatever surplus money funds we generate, we'll be putting it back into the journal and in supporting other initiatives in aging field. For example, supporting conferences, which is something Aging Cell was not willing to do, for example. And we can support maybe some studentships and travel awards. So that is the idea. We started just recently. We launched the journal in December. The name is Aging Biology. We already have first papers accepted, so we placed them on the website. We are going now through the process of registering the journal with various indexing services, and I hope we will succeed. That will be really a new model, and I hope it will inspire scientists in other fields that you can have a scientific journal without a big publisher.
I love it. Yeah, it's revolutionary, and it's a long time coming. People have been concerned about these monopolistic publishers, Elsevier and the Nature Group, etc. And the paywalls, it's just a real mess. And so taking things into your own hands, that sort of what Balaji Srinivasan would call exit. One way you can make your voice known is by walking away and doing something new. So I'm a huge supporter of this effort. This is great, and finding a way to collaborate with the decentralized science community would make a lot of sense and potentially bring capital in and more attention in. So, just by way of background for our listeners, there's a movement that you're new to, as am I, because it's a very new movement. It's about 2 years old or so in its modern form, which is the Decentralized Science Movement, or DeSci. And the idea is taking control of science out of the hands of governments, big corporations, and established institutions which have vested interests in the outcomes of the science. And so there have been many cases in which states have manipulated the science for their own benefit at the expense of the general population.